Guys, in this video, we are going to learn how to graph a factored form of a quadratic equation. Now, you already know a couple of forms that you learned from before. You saw the standard form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That was the standard form. Then in the last few videos, you learned about the vertex form that looked like this. And finally, we are learning about this form, which is the factored form. Okay, now why do we call it the factored form? When you have factors, factors are really things that multiply to each other to give something else. For example, 6 equals 2 times 3. The 2 and the 3 are factors of 6. So in this case, we have a which is multiplying the bracket x minus r, which is multiplying another bracket x minus s. So these are factors which are multiplying each other to give the y value. So that when you write a quadratic equation in this form with this terms multiplying each other, then we call it a quadratic form. The biggest piece of information that you get from the equation straight off are the x-intercepts, also known as zeros. So from the first bracket, x minus r will produce x equals r as your x-intercept, and x minus s will produce a x-intercept of x equal to s. R and s are numbers. So in this example below, if you have a factored form x minus 1 and x minus 2, the x-intercepts are 1 and 2. In the second example, you will have x equals negative 2. See how the sign changes, and again, see how the sign changes. The third equation, the example would be a 4 and the negative 5. And the last example is x equals negative 1 and x equals negative 3. Now, you may want to pause at this point, rewatch the video, and make some good notes before proceeding further. Okay, so here's an example for you. So if I have an equation that looks like this, and I want to graph it, and how do I graph it? Okay, move it around. So what do I have from here? I have the x-intercepts, x equals negative 1 and x equals 3. And you might have noticed from before, these a values that we have, the a equals 1 in this case, and then 0.5, negative 2, negative half, they don't have an influence on the x-intercepts themselves. However, they will tell you how the shape of the graph is and which way does the graph open up or down. So let's get a grid going. And so we draw a grid right there and the y-axis right here. Okay, so we know that x equals negative 1 right there. X equals negative 1 and x equals 3. 1, 2, 3 are the x-intercepts. Okay, so we also know that when you have 2 points which have the same y value, and we have an axis of symmetry, these points are the axis of symmetry is going to be exactly in between these 2 points. We know that from before. So to find what the vertex is, all I'm going to do is the average of these 2 numbers. Now let me explain here. Let us say we have 2 numbers, say 2 and 7. No, make it 2 and 8. Okay, so if I want to find the number exactly in between, all I do is I do the average of the 2 numbers, and then I get the number exactly which is in the middle. If you have 3 numbers, all you do to find the middle number is add all 3 numbers and then divide by 3. You get the idea. If you have 10 numbers, you add all the numbers, all the 10 numbers, and divide by 10. So in this case, I'm interested in the x-coordinate of the vertex. X-coordinate of vertex. To get the x-coordinate of the vertex, what I do is I take the numbers add them, and I divide by 2, and I get 2 over 2. I get 1. So I know that my axis of symmetry is on this is the axis of symmetry, and my vertex is going to be on that line. So now I have the x coordinate. I need to calculate my y coordinate. Now I have the x value, x equals 1. That is the value of the x coordinate of the vertex. All I need to do is substitute this back into the equation that is given to me. And so putting these values, I will get 2, 1 plus 1, 1 minus 3, that is 2 times 2 times 2 times negative 2, that would be a negative 8. So going back here on my graph, all I have to do is go up to 8, negative 8, and then plot my point. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I need to extend my vertex line a bit more. Okay, here we go. So now I have 3 points, and if I join them, I'll get a parabola, but I can do better than that. So not only do I need the x-intercepts and the vertex, I'm also going to calculate the y-intercept value. Now, in the previous video, we saw that to calculate the y-intercept, we set the x value to 0 in the equation. So y equals 2 times 0 plus 1, 0 minus 3. That would be 2 times 1 times negative 3. That is negative 6. So my y-intercept is right here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if I join these points, I have my graph. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let me try again. Notice here that I've added another point on the other side of the y-intercept to get another point, so my graphing becomes easy. So this is how you graph a parabola when you have a equation in factored form. See you in the next video.